Good to be literate. I mean, Spike is. I mean, not only is he a genius, but he's an eminent scholar when it comes to film. I mean, he's a professor. I mean,
Yeah.
people. I mean, he's not just a black man character. He's a sharp dude. So unless he points it out, I'm sure he's stealing left and right shots and
Yeah.
ideas and different things that he's experimenting with visually in his films. I just watched the Malcolm X Criterion, and he's giving away a lot of his secrets in that thing, in the conversation with Barry, Michael Cooper. So yeah, I mean that's somebody you need to study and know about, and dig deep into his catalog, even not just
Mm-hmm.
watch the top 5 classics, but really like the things that don't succeed are equally interesting, because he's a true artist, and
Yes.
you got to respect that.
You just made me think of something. Everyone get ready. Is film school necessary, in your opinion?
Now, it just depends on what you want to do with film, and then also at what level do you want to do it. Like, I think you should have some exposure to understanding and learning the craft. The question, is film school necessary, becomes one, is it necessary to go hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt just to learn how to operate a camera? No. If you're not, and I think a graduate film program that is designed to get you into the industry, like one that NYU has, or USC or UCLA, those are the top schools that I'm aware of. If you can get into those schools, then it's worth the money. If you're going to be, it's sort of like, should I buy a pair of sneakers? That's sort of the same. That would be the analogy for me. Well, do I need to spend $100 to have shoes on my feet? Well, it depends on what you're buying those shoes for. If you like them because they look good on your feet and you just want to walk around, then $100 is fair. You know.
Yeah.
Now, if you think that $100 is going to get you into the NBA, then you're missing. You're not on any level of reality. So if your intention is to get into the NBA, and your first step is by buying a pair of sneakers, then you also have to look at the other necessary steps. Yeah, I talked to Pete Chapman about this years ago, and
He's great.
I felt at the time that film school was overrated. He's like, no, it's like, it's like a gym. Like if you go to the right gym and you have the right equipment available to you,
Yeah.
and you're learning how to make film, like really learning how to make film, then film school is completely essential. But if you just want to, if your intention is just to, fool around or whatever, then just, you could do it for way less money.
Exactly.
I still haven't paid off my loans. So
Oh my gosh.
if if your dream is like to, well, it's they don't expect you to. I mean, that's the hustle. But if you're it just depends on your intention. I mean, I was completely serious about wanting to be a filmmaker, and I was fortunate enough to get into one of the better schools, if not two of the better schools in the world. You know, um, that also does a mind fuck on you, because now you're not completely doing it for the fun anymore. You do have that bill that you're looking at, that you got to pay off eventually.
Right.
You are, but at the same time, you're also competing with people that are also doing really great things in the world. And one of the things that's kept me in the game is knowing that I went to school with so many great people, and that they have offered a lot to the world through their cinema. So that's what keeps me comfortable and confident about my abilities. It's not. I don't have that. I should have been contenders. Like, no. I know these guys when they sucked.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody has to go through a period of suck before they get to a period of recognition. So, and notice I didn't use the word great. It's just being recognized.
Yeah.
So it just depends. I mean, what are you buying those sneakers for? Are you trying to get into the NBA? You just trying to go down to the playground? Be clear about what your intentions are when you go into it. There are some people that I went to school with that weren't ready for film school. They just were there, and that's
Okay.
cool. I don't know where they are now. I wish I did. I wish I knew what happened to these folks, but it gets real. There's some, and I'm sure now it's very competitive, and egos and insecurities and stuff. It's probably not a fun place to be. 19-year-old kid in a top film school now, because the stakes are so much higher. There should be a certain amount of play to it, to any of the craft. There should be a certain amount of play, but everybody's shooting for the same target now, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, film school is cool. I just think the amount of money that you have to spend to get any kind of education in America right now is insane, and I wouldn't recommend it unless you were really, like, if you had no other option in life. I'll put it that way. And you can be cinema adjacent, go to as many film festivals. This is what I would do. Make a little film, get it into as many festivals as you can, and whatever money you would have spent that first semester, use it to make a film and travel on it.
Right.
And then see if you like the vibe, because ultimately that's going to be your clique for the rest of your life. You're going to keep seeing those same people over and over. They're going to be on your track and then if you're really good, you'll be invited into other tracks to make films. I think of my friend Chinoya Chukwu, who taught at Temple University here in Philly. 10 years ago, she was a teacher, and now she's likely to be Oscar nominated this year for the Emmett Till, the Mamie Till movie. So, but
Right.
she followed her career. She made a short film. She got into some festivals. She got awards. She got grants. She made another film, feature film. Didn't do what she thought it was going to do, but it put her on the map. And then her second film, she went back and did some shorts, and then her second film ended up winning Sundance, and then that opened the door for her to get into mainstream. So, but and that's a relatively fast track for her, but she's very driven. If you meet her, you can see she's just very passionate, and that comes across, and anybody she meets, that passion comes across. So you have to have that going for you as well, so if you're gonna make it. But
Yeah, I hear like a sense of networking or friendship or peer.
I'm not good at that. So Josiah, I don't know if you need to be friends with everybody, but you certainly have to. It's a team sport.
That's what I know. That's what I mean. That it's people. It's even if it's just a few, like two. I don't know. It's at least that's how I see. Because I loved your example of the money and everything, and but it's like you're not an island to yourself. There are going to be other people involved. You never know.
Well, here's your cold open. Um, in in filmmaking, I've had a lot of one night stands. You know, I've never gotten married with anybody. I've had relationships, but I've never been married to anybody. I think it's important when you're starting out to have the intention that I'm going to get married one day. And I think that if you have that intention going in, you can have a more successful life and career in entertainment. Because ultimately, you're going to have to make a decision. This is who I'm sticking with, you know. And you know, to so far I haven't had that opportunity to stick with somebody, you know,
Okay.
and grow, you know. But if you look at anybody's career, like I think about Jonathan Demme, who I worked with on Beloved. I only
Wow.
worked with him that one time, you know. Uh, but there are people that he's worked with, rest in peace, over and over again since his exploitation days. Tak Fujimoto was his cinematographer virtually his whole career, and they met on Roger Corman movies, you know.
Mm.
So I think it's important as you're going up your ladder
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that you leave room, that you look at other ladders and see who's there, and that you also bring other people up your ladder, and that you're willing to cross over and be a part of their ladder too, you know.
I stand better
So
informed. Thank you. I feel that.
yeah, yeah, I've had a lot of one night stands. I mean, and that's just relationship advice that I would give in terms of building a career.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, I don't know Chenoya's ladder, like who
Mm-hmm.
she's working with now that she's stayed with,
Gotcha.
because she's she's on the ascent. But I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
agents and managers and things like that become very important at a certain stage in your career to help you develop and grow. Right now, I'm trying to find writing partners because that's what I want to do at this point. Is just lock in with somebody and create a body of work that we can take to market. So.